Hi everyone, it's Jill from Copycat Crafts by Jill, and welcome. I also want to give a special welcome to all my new followers. Thank you so much. I am just over the moon. I cannot believe how many new followers my channel has picked up in the past maybe month and a half, 2 months. And I'm just so excited. So thank you for that. Well, I won't keep you. We'll get on with this. I seen a video from Nik the Booksmith, who made a raggedy fabric something, a thingy. That might be the actual name she gave it, but I'm not 100% sure. When she did hers, she did eyelets with a twine holding it in. So I made one that way. She did it that way because she wanted to be able to untie the twine and remove the material. And that's a great idea. I'm not as proficient at using eyelets as she is. I used brads on this one, and I did the same thing. You can just remove the brad and it opens up and the material comes right out like this. She too sewed hers across. She did not make it as fat as mine. Mine is really fat. And this one wasn't nearly as fat. It is only a 1/4 inch. What would you call that? Space. This one I did I said this is probably an 1/8 inch rather. This was one of these. Oh, this one is a 1/4 inch, and I will not be able to make it any thicker. This one was so thick it almost broke my this. I almost had to lay this to rest, and even then it didn't quite go through it. So I can't abuse it like that. I won't do that again. So I'm gonna stick to brads, and I may try to just push my pokey tool through it. But at any rate, this is really what we're making. This was made from this. Just a regular file folder. Doesn't matter if you have green, it doesn't matter if you want to do a color. As a matter of fact, if you have color file folders, this may be really a nice way to be able to use them. And you don't have to put any decorative paper on them, although you could. It's all on you. You can do whatever you want, but this was just a file folder. And all I did was stamp and put a little label on the front. I would think, especially if you're using bright, pretty colors, if you had some nice colored file folders, to actually put it on a nice little colored one would be really cute. But I like these. I do have green, but these I felt looked nicer. So I already made this one, and I'm going to give you the measurements. I was doing this one, but there were so many mistakes in this one that I'm not trying to hide it. I didn't know how to use my tab punch and made a mistake. But alright, it's not that bad. It didn't ruin it. I will decorate around this, but that really was a mistake. That wasn't supposed to be that way. But my biggest mistake was when I went to punch my holes. This one slipped down further, punched the hole further down, so there's that. And I just didn't care for the eyelets in it as much as the brads. I really think that looks prettier, so I'm just gonna stick with that. I'm gonna give you the measurements, but as you can see, you make it to whatever measurement you want, whatever size fabric you have or want to cut it into. When I made this one, I had used it that right here are the actual pre-score lines that come with the folder. So it was actually like that. But you don't have to. You can you can just cut this in half and fold one end over or the other end over and make a shorter one. You can open this up and make as big or long one as you want. But this is what they're made out of. This is the size I'm making, and I thought I'd make one like this. Once I put my fabric the way I want it, I just sew across the top to hold it in place. But when I put the holes in the brads, I will not glue this or sew it into it. I want it that when it's used up, they can just take the brads out and take it out and put another one in, or just take this out to take full use of each of the pieces, because as you see, once you fold it over, it kind of, unless you open it. But I still think it's an adorable idea. Thank you, Nik the Booksmith, for kind of doing a video on it. Okay, let me get these two out of the way. My tab maker. And let's make the material for this one. I'll give you the measurements if you want to make a cute little one. Okay, so this one is 5 3/4 by, at the highest point, by, oh, right under 6. Right under 6. So it's 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eighths. I should know that. Okay, 5 7/8. And my little flap, you can make that any size you want. You score it twice so that you have that extra room for the material. And mine is only an inch. Over here, though, it is an inch and 1, 2, 3, an inch, almost a half. So you can score that, bend it anywhere you want, fold it anywhere you want. This much larger one, just my flap, is 2 and a little more than 1/4, but long wise, it's almost 12. It's 11 3/4. 11 3/4. And I'm not going to trim it. Originally I was going to trim it, but I actually made my material that long, so, and it is, what is it? It's 5, get that, 5 and almost 3/4. So 5 3/4 by 11 3/4, and then this is about 2 and almost 2 1/2, 2 1/4, almost 2 1/2, and it just depends where you want to fold it and make your score lines. Don't put a 1/4 inch score line, scoring space, spine, whatever you want to call that. Don't do a 1/4 inch. Do an 1/8. That's plenty, because this is too much to try and poke holes through. Learned that the hard way, so keep it thinner. So that's what we're going to do with this one. We're going to keep it thinner. Also, I like to, well, I did cut this tab in on one side with my tab maker, but I did do this one too. But if you fold your folder You can just use the tab they have, or if yours is straight across, you can put any tab on you have. If you have any tab, a circle folded in half, anything you want, or you don't need a tab. That's just, I like tabs, so I'm just going to give it a quick ink. And I must say, I love my felted floor protectors with my inking tool on my dauber. I'm not going back. Staying, at least with Distress ink. I like the felt. I think it's going to last longer, I think. Although I'm pretty hard on them, but I think it will. And I like the way it concentrates. And I have a real inking issue. I'm obsessed with inking. I have to ink everything, sometimes twice. So knowing that I can ink quicker now, actually quicker, I love it. Okay, just gonna quick do. But if you're not an inker, I have watched many wonderful paper crafters who were inkers to start, or at least when I was watching them, and then kind of gave that up. I'm not sure why. I'm not even sure if I've heard anyone explain why they gave it up. I don't know. But I love the look of it. I love to make it look very old. Okay. That being said, I still am going to use hole protectors, but probably on the inside for the brads. I didn't on my first one, and I'm going to use, nope, I'm definitely going to use, I think, the bigger brads. I have these little ones, and perhaps the little ones would be okay, because I have little ones that have the longer thing, but you know what, I just think for strength, I'm going with the bigger ones, heavy dutier ones. Okay, that's my final. That's my final on that. Okay. And the big ones may look a little too big, but I'm not gonna fret over it. I am going to, I think I'll do it from this side. I'm going to measure on the thinner side. I'm going to measure 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, 3. 3/8. I'm going to measure 3/8. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. 3/8. Trying to be a little bit careful. 1, 2, 3/8. Right there. Now, so I have my 2 3/8, but they're not the correct amount. So I'm just going to set, that's what this little thing is for. So I'm going to find where I want mine. Where do I want it? Do I want it? I want them. Yeah, maybe about there. So I guess what gets a little hard is having that thing there. So I'm just going to put a line. I can erase it if I want, but as long as I have my line, I can at least follow my line, and I can erase it. Okay. Came off my line a little bit, not that. Oh, I don't need to try and work with that then. I can use my hand one, I believe. I'm thinking. I thought maybe if I used my smaller whole one, but I don't know. Okay, so let's see if I can, oh, yep, I can get it in there, so. Once I get this one in, then I can measure how far away from the end. Okay, so I'm 1 and 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I want to go 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I want to go right there. All right, now I'm about as straight as there. Okay, well, okay. Sad. Oh, sorry. Sorry for all the noise. I'm wrecking the place. Goes to show you how many mistakes I make. Where's my erasers? Where's my erasers? Just gonna quick erase these. Okay, got my marks. Okay, that's pretty okay. Then I can mark down there and mark down there. Okay, that doesn't look. That looks a little better, but now I will think I will have to use that other one because I don't think I can get them in there. So now I will have to use this. I use the little one. I can make the hole bigger if I have to. How did I see? Told you. I'm terrible at that. Absolutely terrible at that. Okay. Alright, it is what it is. Okay. Let's start getting some material together. So let me get this one out of the way. Whoa. When I am going through my material, I don't worry if it seems like it's going to be too small. That it's perfect. I just don't want it flopping too far over the sides. But I want to start with my larger pieces and cut them down. So if I have this one, put this away. If I have this one, goes like that. I actually want the frilly side, to be honest. Okay. So have the frilly side. We're going to fold that in. That's where I'm going to cut it. I have my material scissors because I have to remember not to pick them up and use them. We'll keep I'm going to keep making these till I use up all my scraps. So, and this is made by using your scraps. So if you have fabric scraps, that's what this is actually. That's what this whole thing is actually made for. You have fabric scraps. You need a way to get rid of them. Okay, that's a little crooked. I'm just gonna fold that over and trim the high end off it. So this is a good way. Sorry, that's so loud. This is a good way to use up those scraps. And we're going to, they don't have to be any rhyme or reason. It's just if we pick colors, you may want to go with different, so you might want to do it that way. Yep, I don't measure. If I cut it too long, I just trim it again. I am not measuring. Nothing has to be scientific here. Just having fun. That's all we're doing. Just having fun. So none of them have to be a certain size. You put in what colors you want to put in and where you want to put them. And I have an awful lot of scraps because they're not totally scraps. They're actually fabric books that were some designer person was going out of business, and I went and bought very cheaply, very reasonably. She had loads, absolutely loads. I was in seventh heaven. I couldn't believe how much she had. I was having a blast going through it, and I got a lot. I bought more than I should have, so now I have so much. Whoops, sorry if I'm bumping the camera. Anyway, I really ended up with way more than any one person should have. Okay, I'm not going to over scrap because I really did want to put a couple still a little long, put in a couple like small pieces, you know, trims. Whoop, what'd I do? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, got caught on a hangnail, I guess. Okay. Just wanted to put some. And I know I have others. Where are they? I don't know if I don't want to use that one, but I have this that I'll put in, And what other? Get out of the way of some of these ones. This one I definitely want. I think I want to use, okay, so I'm going to trim. Okay, so I'm going to put this like that. I think I'll layer those. I have this one. Isn't that pretty? I think that's so pretty. Okay, I definitely want the yellow here. So I'm going to put this one. I wanted some of that. Okay, it's still showing a little there. Not much. Okay, I'm going to put this up here. And I want that and that. Okay. Let's see. I think that should be fine. I'm going to get my material out of the way. Oops. I'm going to get a couple because I'm going to have to take these over to my sewing machine. I cannot bring my sewing machine to me. So these are going to go, I'm going to walk these over and give this a quick sew across. Can't get that open. And I'll be right back. Be right back. Don't go away. Okay. All right, so this is done. So I'm just going to trim this off. Trim this off. Okay. Now all I need to do, put it up. Okay. I'm going to, I don't know if that will show through as easy. I might be better off doing it this way. Maybe even using a marker. So can you see where my marks are? See where that one is, so it does work. I just need to line it up where I want it. Okay. Whoop, there's that one. There, whoop. Well, at least the whole protectors will. Well, not really. I covered too much. Okay. Yep. Okay, I do want to put the whole protectors just because I don't want. I don't want the brads pulling through, so I'm putting them on this side. Okay. Now, wish me lucks. I don't know how this is gonna go. Okay, that wasn't quite as bad as I thought. Here, oh, at an angle. Okay. Let's see. I was just seeing through the hole 2 seconds ago. Oh, I'm gonna have to. Oh, it's right there. Oh, tricky. The tricky part. Probably should go through the hole this way to get it all pushed going in the same direction. Okay. There. Turn it sideways. Loosely close it. Try to poke this one through. That is the only. Whoop, it's the only hard part if you don't poke the hole. Actually, that one's. If you don't put the holes in with your crocodile, but I'm just a little nervous because of how I abused it with those other two, and I'm a little worried. And my eyesight is pretty bad today. Okay, there. In and in. And there it is. Now we just have to decorate it. Let's put those aside. But before we get to that, we still have this one to do. This is going to be the hard one. This is going to be the hard one. Okay. Get rid of some of this. Alright. Just in case, everyone close your ears. In case I have to use bad words. Alright. Just going to give it a quick inking. And if you see, I glued material. I don't know if I covered that. I just put in material, which is only going to make it harder when I try to poke holes through everything. But I wanted that little extra strength because this is a lot. It's a lot. And since I wanted this to be able to be utilized by opening it, I wanted those creases where the spine is going to be to not just rip apart. And then I didn't feel it. This little one needed it. I really don't, and I still don't. I stand by that. That don't need it, but this does, I think. So I won't do that whole thing. I just wanted to get where we're going to end up looking at it, at least. And there it is. All right, I think those are where I want the holes. So let's see if I can get it. Okay, now I'm gonna put a hole there and put there. Let's see, is that about right? I'm calling it right. A lot of times I make it way harder than it needs to be, so okay, I'm gonna need more hole reinforcers. Down to only green ones. What the world? That's not bad. Again, I'm gonna put them in here. And then on the outside. Now I know I need to make more. I just buy the white ones, but then I ink them. Or stamp on them. I love my stamp ones. I didn't know I was out. Alright, this is going to be the... Okay. There we go. Chose marker this time. Okay, so I have my hole here and here. All right. Move this out of the way. Get the children out of the room. Oh, my. Did I? Oh, I can feel it already. Okay, that's not. Guess the secret was doing this. No, can these go through? Yep, they can. Just gonna stick them through there to stretch out the hole a little bit. Okay. All right. There. Let's pull this one. Stick it there and here. Okay. Put it in the back. Put it in the back. Oop, that one came out already. Okay. There we go. A little extra. I know that kind of collapses it, but till we get a label, some stamp on there, some stamping, I think it's gonna be really pretty. Just gonna do the back, but that's it. We're done. Now all you have to do is decorate it the way you want it decorated. I love these. I think they're adorable, and I think you could pick all different ways to do it. You could pick, like I did, with like florals and matching for that. You could pick different color themes. I picked a lot of pink and cranberry color. This one, put some blues in there if the material called for it, and yellows, but you could lean them towards an all neutrals. I think they're adorable, and I can't wait to decorate them. So I hope you make a couple, and if you do, feel free to show them. Tag me on Instagram, same name, Copycat Crafts by Jill. And thanks for crafting with me. Bye-bye.